Just a moment late for today. Oh, but I'm proud of you, but I'm proud of you. Nothing left to make me feel small. Luck has left me standing so tall. Gold, always believe in your soul. You got the power to know your indestructible. Always believe it. You are gold. Like that you found in return. Something I could have learned. You're indestructible. Always believe it. G'day again, everyone. That song, Gold by Spandau Ballet, that ties into, the words of that song tie in a bit to the theme, one of the themes of this video today. So, what I want to talk to you today about, well, firstly, I remember back to my last video and also in my first video. So the first video I said I was thinking of getting some testosterone enhancers to make me help build muscle quicker, shed fat faster, and also try to give myself a more youthful kind of look and glow. Today I took the plunge and I ordered a couple of bottles of testosterone enhancers. They will get shipped from the United Kingdom, and hopefully I'll have them in the next couple of weeks to aid my workout, to aid with bigger and better muscle building at my age. It's going to be tough, but we shall try, as well as helping me to burn fat faster and just have more energy, vitality, up my sex drive, and feel a lot and look a lot younger and with a more youthful glow. Second thing, if you remember back to last video, I was suggesting I'm going to get some business cards to possibly hand out to women in situations where I am connecting with them, or even if I just fancy a woman, I go up to her and have a small chat and just hand her my business card and put the ball in her court. Better than nothing. I have ordered 300 business cards to get shipped to me in the next few days. Small ones, just small ones with 3 lines of information, my name, what I do, email address, and a phone number. So pretty simple, but hopefully that does help in the bigger scheme of things. Now, tonight, or today, well, it is evening here, what I want to talk about, firstly, the last video. Now, there was a couple of things that I'd kind of left out that I needed to add to that story. Now, add to what happened. So that night that I went out with my mate, when this girl's, if you remember back to the last video, or if you haven't watched it, you can go watch it. When the girl I was talking to, when her boyfriend showed up, the boyfriend who has the same name as me, showed up, I was meant to describe him in the last video. I completely forgot to describe him. He was tall, a lot taller than me. Probably over 6 foot. I think he was about 6'1". He had a full head of hair. He was his face was, I wouldn't say his face was average looking. It was a little bit above average looking, but he was tall and he had a great build. So yeah, I can see why she'd go out with a guy like that. That makes total sense. She was about a 7, and he had a face of about a 6 or a 7, but I would say his build and his body put him up to about an 8, a 7.5, or an 8 out of 10. So were they evenly matched? Well, maybe he was slightly more attractive than her, but these days it seems to be that women are dating upwards in terms of men's looks. So yeah, nothing to get shocked about there. That was pretty normal. Now the second thing I meant to say was, at the end of the night, I dropped my friend home, my friend from the United States home, back to the place where he was staying at, and he told me a few things. He said he's been approaching a lot of women here in Sydney while he was here in Australia, and he was saying that women here are telling him that this is very unlike Australian men. What you do, approach us, cold approach us. It's Australian men don't do it. Men here are cowards. Men are scared. They won't approach us. They see a woman they like, they're too scared unless they've got a lot of drinks in them. They won't approach. And he was telling me that he said he thinks I should approach women more because a lot of men here don't do it, and women actually want it. They told him that they want it. They say, we understand you're from America, the United States, and A lot of men do that a lot more over there, we know, but we'd like Australian men to do the same. Well, he wants Australian men, they want Australian men to do the same, but what types of men do they want approaching them? Do they just want any old man approaching them, or do they want the specific men that they want to approach them? And this is why a lot of men in Australia, I find, don't approach. A lot of women here, they don't seem very approachable, and when you talk to them, they're kind of very into their social graces, where they, especially in a non-social environment, and if they're not attracted to you, they won't give you time of day, and they just seem very standoffish. And it's no wonder that a lot of men here don't approach. But so the women here are told my friend when he was here that they would like more men to approach. My question, though, is what type of men? And the other thing he told me was, he told me once again, he says, going out to these places, these bars and night spots, not nightclubs, just night areas and bars and those kind of things, places where you go out for a drink in Sydney. He said if he was me, he would stop doing it. No, I don't. I've only been doing it since he's here, so I don't do it regularly at all. But he told me it's not for me and I should stop doing it. And he thinks that I should be getting onto apps like Bumble and Hinge and Tinder. He said men at our age, there's no women around our age group, not enough women around our age group that go out. It's mostly young women, and you are too old for them. He told me that bluntly, and which is a shame, but anyway. And he told me I need to be on these apps, meeting women, because that's where women our age are going. They're not going out to meet men anymore. So unless you can get introduced to a girl, you'll need to meet them on these apps. And it kind of scares me, because the video that was reviewed, that I was reviewed in, and the link to it is in my last, the notes of my last video. It's from the CDP channel. The link to that video is in that to the video where I was reviewed is in my last video. He told me I was below Tinder average. So I'm getting contradicting messages. I could be on Tinder for years and not meet anyone. I really am scared of that. Speaking of Tinder and dating apps, the last part of this video I make is going to debunk a common theory out there about what attracts women, by using these apps as an example, as a prime example that will debunk it. But yeah, he told me that I should be using these apps, and I still don't see any need or I still don't see any use for these apps for me. I think for a guy like me, as CBP would say in his ratings video, I can't use looks to get in the door. I need to use other methods, and these apps are solely about looks. So yeah, I probably won't be taking his advice on that, unless by some miracle I can transform into a Chad in my sleep overnight. I don't think I'll be using those apps. But you guys might have some other ideas. You might think that I should get on as soon as possible. If you think that's the case, let me know in the comments below. Now, topic I was going to talk about next was basically also leads in from this last point, because what I was talking about was the video that CDP reviewed me in. So he said that I have a very low hyoid. So I've actually, if I stand up, stand back a bit, change the angle. There's a little bit of a bump there. I'm not obese, but there is a little bit of extra weight on my belly. But the problem is, it shows in my face. I've got a very low hyoid, and he's right. I do have a low hyoid. It looks like a slight double chin here, not a bad one, but just a slight one. So I was thinking, let's get this angle right again. I was thinking, yeah, I'm going to try and burn this extra fat off, get under 10% body fat, as I mentioned in my last video. Hopefully that will help. But in the meantime, while I've got this low hyoid, I was thinking, as an image changer, to grow a beard. Now, I'm bald. I've got a little bit of fuzz on the side here, a little bit even lesser fuzz up here from the hair transplant. and around here. It's not buzz. I'm going to buzz it again tomorrow, so it's probably the longest I'd want it. I want to grow a beard to cover this. So what kind of beard should I grow? Should I grow a full beard like this? I used to have a goatee in my old days. Obviously, that's not going to cover this part unless I grow it right down, but I think a full beard would be better now. And do I shave it down to here? Do I grow the bottom part? I think I grow the bottom part down to here and just shave this part here. So I'm thinking of growing a beard. Give it a try. It's going to be very grey. It's going to be very salt and pepper, grey and black, but probably more grey than black these days. But it might make me look older. That's the risk I take. But do I take that risk, or do I just walk around with this low hyoid till I can lose it? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below if you think a beard, which might be very grey, would be a good idea for me at this stage to cover that until I get rid of that. Just to improve my image, hopefully make me look less fat too. I mean, I'm not overly fat, as you can see on my tummy. There's a little bit of belly fat, but it's not enormous. I'm not obese, as he says, and he's right. But yeah, the low hyoid does worry me. And as you get older, it gets harder to go. I know that it gets harder to remove it. But one should try, and I'm getting the testosterone supplements, and let's hope that that helps. Now, the final thing I wanted to talk about today, I hope it's not going to be as long a video as the last few, was this confidence theory. That's why I played the Spandau Ballet Gold at the start. You've got to believe in your soul. You've got the power to know you're indestructible. You've got to be confident, right? That's the best song I can think about, I thought about for confidence. But you think that you're gold. People like to say, especially women, but also men, but especially women, would like, and men do it a lot. A lot of these male dating coaches and female dating coaches say the same thing, that confidence is the number one thing that attracts women. It's attractive to women, and that attracts women. You attract women with your confidence as a man. That's all well and good, and I can understand that, but confidence, how can I say this? If confidence was the number one thing that attracted women, then how come we have the advent of hookup apps or dating apps like Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, and all those sorts of apps? Obviously, you know, when women swipe on a man on an app, they're not swiping on him because they think he's confident, because they're not attracted to him for his confidence. They can't tell Jack on an app. They can only see his picture. So are women screening men on these apps for confidence? Like they say that they're attracted to, the number one trait of a man that they're attracted to is confidence. Are they screening for confidence on the app? Or are they screaming for his picture? Are they screaming for his picture, the look he presents in his picture? I ask you that because this is why I don't believe confidence is the number one attractor for women. I believe it's looks. If it wasn't looks, if looks were not the issue, then women wouldn't be flocking to these apps. If looks were not the issue, women would not be on these apps. Looks is the number one thing in this world that gatekeeps a woman's attraction to a man, and vice versa. I won't disagree. Looks is the gatekeeper for attraction, okay? And looks is the gatekeeper into a possibility of a relationship. The advent of these social media apps, the Tinders and Bumbles, etc., only prove it. If confidence was the number one thing, then women wouldn't bother going on these apps. If confidence in a man was the number one thing, women wouldn't bother on these apps, because women can't tell if a man's confident just from his picture on an app, unless you can somehow read his tea leaves or read his face and say, oh yeah, I can tell from his face that he's confident. I can tell he's confident, yeah. But how do you know? How do you know it's just a picture? Is that a halo effect? This is why I think the halo effect is very real. Women believe that only good-looking men, or men that they've got the hots for, are confident men. And they believe that they're screening on these apps for men who are confident. But how can they determine confidence based on a man's looks, based on a man's picture in an app? So if you're telling me that confidence is the number one thing, the number one factor that drives women's attraction to men, then why are so many women hooking up with, dating, and having with men they meet on these apps? how are relationships starting in the first place on these apps if women aren't swiping for anything other than a man's photo, the way he looks in the photo? That's my whole argument, and that is why I don't believe confidence is the gatekeeper. Confidence is not the main trait attracting women. It is a man's genetics and his looks. And these apps, these hookup apps, these dating apps, and the rise of them, and the rise of popularity in them, only prove it. It's been Man Overboard. You have yourselves a good day or evening, depending on where you live. Thank you.